guys, welcome back to another episode of Uncut Gems with Slim. I am super excited to have you tuned in for this week's episode. Excited about what we're going to talk about, and I just wanted to kind of open up, outside of always thanking you guys for tuning in, I wanted to open up and just be transparent with you guys about how I've been feeling lately. And before we get into that, can we just admire the fit? Can we admire the jacket, the hat, the curls? Get into it. If you are listening via podcast, make sure you go ahead over to our YouTube channel so you can check out the visual element and you can absorb all this beauty that we are given on this beautiful Sunday morning, or whenever y'all are watching this, or whenever y'all listen to it, whatever day, morning, night, evening, you're getting this. Take it in, enjoy it. And so anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I've been feeling and like what's been going on, and just being open and transparent with you guys. And so here recently, a big change kind of happened in my life, and it really impacted me, y'all. Like, it really impacted me. So the changes that have been happening are basically just like transitions that I am currently experiencing. And to say the least, this transition is not comfortable at all. And every time I come across an uncomfortable situation, I always go back to a few episodes ago when I was talking about being comfortable with the discomfort, because it's a prerequisite for growth. And so I'm trying to be like level-headed, level-minded about this entire transition, and just kind of like keeping that mindset where, you know, this is a prerequisite for growth. This is like preparing me for the next chapter in my life. It's preparing me for the next stepping stone. It's preparing me for what's next. And so if you guys been experiencing any kind of transition or anything like that right now, I just want to encourage y'all to keep pressing forward. Don't let it upset you or stress you out. Just know that this is a part of the process that you have to go through to get to the other side. So I also touched on referencing how this experience, this transition, this period of discomfort is kind of equivalent to a gemstone being polished and cleaned, or like a piece of wood that has imperfections that's being like sanded down by a carpenter. So these two examples are kind of like tying in how this season of discomfort is kind of similar to friction, and how friction is uncomfortable, but once you've endured this season of opposition and adversity, you come out on the other side clean and polished. And so that's how I've been kind of just taking in this transition that I'm going through and experiencing, and just any friction that I might feel, any discomfort that I might feel, I'm taking it like, you know, this is just molding me and shaping me for what's to come. So I want you guys to kind of take that with you. So this idea, and just kind of analyzing where I've been at lately in my headspace and things like that, it brought me to this week's gem, which is that your perspective is not a representation of the full picture. And y'all, when I tell y'all, that is so jam-packed, like, your perspective is not a representation of the full picture. And so oftentimes we get caught up with like what's within our view, and then we act on our perspective rather than taking in account of the bigger picture. And it's not so much that we need to see and understand the bigger picture, but that we just acknowledge and understand that our perspective does not represent the full picture. And what I mean by that is basically like, you might not know what God has in store for you. You haven't seen the future unless you that's so Raven is the future that you see. If you're not her, you can't see the future. And so you don't know like what's to come, but you know that there is a future. You know that something is coming. So the point I'm saying is you need to acknowledge that, you know, there is a bigger picture. Acknowledge that what you're going through right now is just temporary. And basically, this whole example pairs with how God is Alpha and Omega. He's the beginning and He's the end. Come on, somebody. And so that basically means like He not only created you, he not only created me, he not only created the life of Slim, like he literally done seen this movie 50 trillion times. He made the movie, he the director, the creator, the cast and director, like he's everything. He knows the life of Slim. I don't know the life of Slim because I'm living through it. And so basically with this analogy, what I'm in right now, what I'm experiencing right now, this adversity that I faced this week is merely a millisecond long commercial in the life of Slim. Take that in. What you're going through right now is literally a millisecond commercial in your life, in the movie of your life. And so I want to encourage you guys to not waste time and energy getting worked up over a commercial break in your life. Like, girl, boy, sis, bro, do not waste no energy over a commercial break. And just acknowledge that this too will come to pass. So whatever you're going through will come to pass. And just remember that commercials are commercials because they don't last forever. They're only here for a limited amount of time. And so I just want you guys to get excited about your series. Get excited for the upcoming pages and chapters in your lives, in your book. And remember that commercials are only but so long. They're only but so long. You're experiencing a commercial right now. This is just a small segment of your story. This is just a small thing. Like, think about it. If you ask me, Slim, what was you doing in November 2010, 10 years ago, right? You know what I'm saying? I have no idea. Why? Because I don't remember. And I probably had I might have been facing some adversity. I might have been going through a transition in my life. Even when I think back on stuff that I do remember, like significant transitions in my life, were deciding to come back home after college versus staying in New York, things like that. Now that I think about it, like in that moment, it was like the climactic part of the movie. It was like the most high pressure, the music's building, like it was intense. Like you couldn't tell me that that wasn't the peak of the movie, okay? Now looking back on it, that literally was a commercial. Just a small commercial, and I just needed to let that thing go through its little allotted time. And now look where I am. Like all the things that you feel like are big in that moment, just like if you're younger and like you have your first heartbreak, in that moment it is big. Your perspective on the situation, it is a big thing. It is something that is just so detrimental, so heart-wrenching. It's just so big. It looks so big from your perspective. But give it a few years, here I am, I don't know a couple years later since graduating college, like that moment in my life wasn't like anything crazy. Like it hasn't lasted forever. Like it literally was just a small piece to a bigger puzzle. And when I say, y'all, I'm telling you, be grateful, because what you're going through is a blessing and a lesson. Even if it's tough. If it's tough, you're learning something from it. You're having this experience for a reason. What you're going through right now might be an experience that you can share with someone else to prevent them from going through it. Or you can share with them if they're going through it and they come to you for advice. So just acknowledge that what you're going through, your perspective right now, is just a commercial break. It's not the bigger picture. It's not your full life story. It's not your book. It's not your movie of your life. It's just a commercial break. So that's really all I got, y'all. I hope this fell on some open ears and you guys could kind of relate to all my little crazy analogies. But I just want to remind y'all that your perspective is not a representation of the full picture. Acknowledge the full picture and know that this is just a commercial break. Trouble don't last always. Hey, hey. Trouble don't last. I can't sing, y'all, but Y'all get what I'm trying to say. I love y'all so very much. If you're listening via podcast, shout out to you. Make sure you subscribe, leave a rating and review. If you want to share some kind words with the kid. And if you are tuned in via YouTube, shout out to y'all. Y'all, we are so close to 200 subscribers on YouTube. And I'm so thankful that you guys are joining the journey to get the full visual element. You know, who knows, in the future, YouTube might get some exclusive episodes or some exclusive content outside of the podcast. So you never know what Slim got up her sleeve. So make sure you also subscribe to Uncut Gems with Slim on YouTube. While you're at it, you might as well subscribe to the main channel. Vlogmas is coming up very soon. This week's episode is right before Thanksgiving. So I just want to wish you guys safe travels. I want y'all to have, an amazing time. Please be safe. Enjoy your family and friends, but still be safe. COVID is a real thing. But yeah, I love y'all so much. I really hope you guys just experience love and fun and joy during this Thanksgiving holiday. I know it's very different than usual. And if you're not hanging out with anyone and you're by yourself, I want to wish you personally a happy Thanksgiving and give you a virtual hug and share some love with you guys as well. So, maybe you can watch this back on Thanksgiving Day just so you can get your virtual hug from Slim. So that's all I got. I love y'all so very much. And until next time. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and feel free to connect with me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Slim Reshae. That's SlimReshae. Links will be listed in the show notes, and until next time, love yourself and be beautiful. When you're there, when you need to